So the first thing on the agenda today is how do you become a loctician? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, spicy like a motherfucker, but I'm sweet.
I will say everyone's journey to becoming a loctician is definitely not cookie cutter. You have locticians that started from cosmetology school and then learned that they love locks and became a loctician. You have people who was doing locks in high school and became a loctician, and you have people that were working their 9 to 5 and they just wanted to try something new and fell in love with being a loctician. So it definitely depends on what your journey is. So we all know the cookie cutter way to starting any hair professional journey, deciding between if you should have a license or you should have no license. I do not feel biased talking about this topic because I am someone that does not have a license. However, I am someone that plans to get their license in the future and understand why having a license is necessary and important, just to make sure you have checks and balances on how things should operate within the beauty industry. But on the flip side, right now there's a few between the license and the unlicensed, and if we're just being frank, a license doesn't mean anything because they could do the bare minimum to get that license and never do their due diligence and never go through the processes that they need to go through even though they have a license. So when deciding if you want to go get your license or you don't want to get your license yet because you're still trying to put your foot in the water to see if you even like doing hair, it's all up to you. However, which either way you go, you need to do your due diligence. So you need to understand the scalp, you need to understand hair theory, hair characteristics, sanitation, everything. And then you also need to understand that when you're unlicensed, shampooing is already pushing the envelope. Don't be out here doing color. Don't be out here doing this, that, and the third. You need to make sure you are on your P's and Q's and actually have a plan and actually continue to get education so you can stay sharp when you're servicing hair. When it comes to licensed or unlicensed, honestly, my answer is it depends on what journey that you are in. I would never expect anyone currently has a 9 to 5 with the federal government and they're trying to figure out if they could even dip their toe in this in a career as a loctician. I would never tell them, well, before you even touch the head, you need to go to hair school and do it right. No, it's all a journey. I'm trying to figure out if this is something I would love enough to quit. You know what I'm saying? And all in all, and I know the license, the people that be preaching the license out there, why they be acting like they had a license before they even picked up a comb and put it on somebody's head, or was an apprentice and in the program before they even touched somebody's head. Let's stop the cap. Instead of bashing the unlicensed because you're licensed, this, that, and the third, we need to start encourage people to get a license. Figure out why the licensed people are telling unlicensed people like myself, like, no, you already know everything. Like, you don't need no license. You gonna get wherever you need to and make your bread and still teach people without the license. They're telling me that the license not even worth it. You worried about my license, but when your licensed folks telling me to stay unlicensed, make it make sense. I feel like it needs to be more encouragement in the community when it comes to licensing, and also step out of yourself and understand that there's some reasons why people don't have a license or not ready to get a license or waiting to get a license or have a plan to get a license. If it's not right here, right now, what they got to do with you? Let them follow their journey and figure out if this is something that they want to have longevity in. Also, on the flip side, don't just join the hair industry or do something just because you feel like it has money into it. Like, if you really are not going to have integrity, empathy, care about your clientele, have respect, what are you doing it for? Because you're just giving people a bad name who actually cares about it, who actually is grown and it actually loves the craft. Damn, this turned into a rant. My bad. But where do you start as a loctician? You can start anywhere, honestly. Either way, even if you go the licensed route or the non-licensed route, either way, I feel like everybody still goes to that same, destination, because the cosmetology schools don't really teach our hair, and definitely probably don't even teach locks, let alone micro locks and how to install and maintain and repair that. So automatically automatically out of cosmetology school, if somebody wants to certify as a loctician or become a loctician, they're automatically going to be doing those outside classes and stuff like that. And then same vice versa, if somebody is just trying to figure out if they want to be a loctician or do these type of services, they're going to end up taking classes anyway. How do you start as a loctician? I would highly recommend attending classes. There are plenty, there are plenty of classes out there. Some of them are, but there are definitely a lot of classes out there. One thing I will say is always vet. Make sure whoever you are aligning yourself with or whoever you are giving your money to is actually teaching the proper craft. And also don't just go beyond the craft. Is this somebody that will want to stand by, as far as like their personality, their integrity, how they present themselves on social media? Like, it's just beyond being viral and doing good work. It's what is their character like? Are they respectful? How is their social media? What type of person are they? You have to look beyond the skill, because I promise you, once you go beyond the being viral or beyond the skill, you'll find exactly the teacher and instructor that you're looking for with Lock, And just to chime myself in, I currently do virtual interactive courses. My virtual workshops, well, there were workshops before, but now they're interactive courses. When I tell you, it feels like it's hands-on. Everybody can ask the questions that they need to. So even if you're trying to just get your foot in the door and don't really have thousands to push out for an in-person class, my virtual classes alone will get you where you need to be so you can begin practicing and understanding the lingo and how to repair and how to work with clients and stuff like that. So yeah, see y'all next time.